So, when it comes to video games, what's the thing that matters the most? What's the thing that gets people excited the most about video games? I mean, we all kind of get caught up in this whole console war thing, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, whatever the case may be. It's very interesting to see the way that people kind of handle, these things, because everybody is a fan of something and likes something better than the other, and that's just like sort of the fact of the matter. But here's the one thing that I can say, from my point of view anyway, when it comes down to it, this year, and this is the only year that I can really speak to this being accurate, but this is a year in which Xbox has exceeded people's expectations, especially mine, when it comes to like Game Pass. Like, this is the first year where I thought Game Pass was really, worth it, and that Game Pass really did everything that they could to kind of make sure that Xbox has a ton of games and a ton of different things to kind of play as just gamers. We sit there and we take it for granted sometimes, but obviously many of us have been paying for Game Pass for a long time now. Whether you paid, and did the $1 upgrade thing from Gold back in the day like I did, or whether you've been paying full price since day one, whatever the case may be, Game Pass has been there for a while now, and many of us look at that, and the value proposition and things like that, and say, oh well, it's a decent value proposition. And for most years that's true, but I look at, in particular, years like 2022, where Microsoft released 0 big first party games, and and that's a real unfortunate situation, because we didn't get to pause our subscription because of that, right? And when they did finally start to release some games on the platform, it was funny to me because it was like they raised prices to coincide with that, which I thought was just absolutely hilarious. And again, I just look at things, I think, a little bit differently. But this year has been really good, and I have to say, with what they've already stealth dropped Elder Scrolls Oblivion remaster. They've announced this Gears of War remaster or whatever. The fact that they announced those now kind of leads you to believe that their showcase coming up here in a couple months or whatever is going to be massive, right? And again, I'm just speaking, and I know people are like, oh, well, how can you still do positive? Listen, if you just own an Xbox, you're good. Like, you should be excited for this stuff, right? Yeah, the future's uncertain, but it's always uncertain. Like, the future's always going to be uncertain for, pretty much everybody. But it's like, when you look at this and you just go, okay, well, as an Xbox owner or Game Pass subscriber, you're set, and they're going to really announce some incredible stuff at this showcase. Like, we don't know per se what they're going to announce, but we know that it's probably going to be some pretty significant things. And the fact that they've announced stuff like this Gears remaster and this Oblivion game got just shadow dropped out of nowhere really goes to show you that they probably have some stuff. Conversely, it might not be the best. I don't know for 100% for sure. Just to play devil's advocate, it's like, yeah, maybe that means that they've got a ton of stuff to show, but it could also just mean that that was the time that they could get these things out, and they're trying their best to get a lot of this stuff out in the quarter, so it looks good on the books and things. So again, it really kind of comes down to like the individual and how you feel about what they're kind of offering. But for me, I feel like they're finally starting to offer some good games. It's really just kind of bittersweet that some of the things are happening the way that it's happening, and I would love to see how Microsoft kind of changes the changing the face of gaming or whatever. I don't know if they will, but who knows. Like I said, this has been a strange generation. It's been a generation that is completely unexpected. From my standpoint, I don't think we've ever seen things like this happen. At the end of the day, Microsoft realistically, seems like they've given up here and there, and that's a very frustrating aspect. but the game output seems like it's finally there. I'm not going to use that as a way to kind of sugarcoat what's happening, like all around. But again, why not just sit there and go, okay, well, gamers are fickle, and gamers are going to be able to dictate what Microsoft kind of want to do or whatever. But we'll see. Like, Microsoft has to understand that, yeah, they're a corporation, but you have to listen to what the fans actually want. So hopefully, yeah. Anyway, from like my perspective, they have a ton of cool stuff. I would love to see. I think for sure we're going to see Halo. But I also think that, unfortunately, we're going to see Halo, and it's going to be coming to PlayStation. And I think it's probably the Halo that we're going to see is the remake of the first game. And they're much like, or they might even call it a remaster. And much like with this Gears of War remaster, I think the whole reason why they're doing it is to try to lure in PlayStation fans, to the franchise that maybe hasn't really been able to, enjoy that before. So, I think that we'll have to wait and see. It's going to be super interesting to see how Microsoft handles this kind of stuff. But I'm also curious to hear what everybody else thinks about this. Like, what do you feel about this? Like, with the fact that they were able to, kind of announce these things already. How do you guys feel about it? Do you guys think that, yeah, they're going to have a kick-ass show, that they're going to like do things that they've never done before? I would just honestly love to hear that thought process and what you guys think, because like what I'm saying is, like, even regardless of what's going on, and let me be clear, even though this could be an epic year and we get some really great announcements, these are probably going to be multi-platform announcements, and and I think that strategy long-term kills Xbox hardware and potentially our libraries. The games themselves in the short term should be pretty good, and that's an exciting thing across the board. So I do want to kind of keep that out there, that hey, Microsoft has done a good job making sure that we have stuff to play this year. Whether that's going to continue to be something that's going to continue, we'll have to wait and see. Gaming is going to be a very strange thing going forward. People are going to be paying very close attention to it. Again, I just feel like Microsoft has maybe underestimated their own fans and underestimated the people in general, because we never got that chance, and I don't mean to totally go off topic here, but us gamers, Xbox fans, were promised something. We were going to get all these exclusives, and it never really came to. We never got to see how Xbox could do. Just Xbox had some great exclusive games. See if that would sell consoles. See if that would do anything specific. We never got that, unfortunately. And to me, that's really just sad, disrespectful, disappointing. All the different things, right? You know what I mean? It's just like we never got to like sit up there and go, oh man, finally we're where we were promised, And I think that's the most unfortunate thing. And it's just video games, I get it, but when you have as much invested into like an ecosystem like I do, and we see all this stuff kind of happening the way that it's happening, it does make you kind of shake your head a bit and just be somewhat disappointed, because we all thought we would be seeing something a little bit different by now. We all thought that Microsoft would be kind of changing their tune or whatever, because it's clear that people aren't buying into Xbox the way that they used to. And that means that we're probably going to see something happen, where they change directions or something along those lines. Like, is that going to be something that continues to happen? I don't know. We'll see. With that being said, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. It certainly would mean a lot to me. You guys are amazing. I hope you guys have a great day. If you guys enjoy what I'm doing, please leave a like. That's pretty much all I ask. And maybe consider subscribing. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crap Gamer 'em up. We'll catch you next time. Crap Gamer out.